All right, joining us now to dig deeper into tonight's results, our pollster, Richard Czuba from the Glenn Gariff Group. And let's start with where we are right now. 92% of the vote in, and Bernie Sanders with about a 30,000 vote lead on Hillary Clinton.
Are
the
you
math
ready?
is getting tougher to say that she's got a chance to pull this out.
With 8%,
Are you ready to call it? Huh?
not ready to call it yet, but she'd have to win a huge majority of the remaining vote to pull this off.
And how stunning is that turnabout?
I think this is a big national story. It causes her huge problems heading into Ohio next week.
What did she do wrong?
Well, you know, when you look at what counties Bernie Sanders won versus Hillary Clinton, he won this, frankly, like a Republican would win a general election in Michigan, outstate. He racked up big margins outstate and carried his own, held his own in Oakland and Macomb.
Now, it wasn't a slam dunk for anybody tonight except for Donald Trump, who did well in Michigan.
The Republican script went right according to what we thought was going to happen. About a 10, 12-point lead for Donald Trump. He delivered. And we're fighting it out for second place.
We thought if there might be a surprise tonight, it was watching the surge of John Kasich over the last 36 to 72 hours or so. Does he have enough momentum now, a second place finish, to turn that into something? If it ends up being second place, he's still neck and neck with
well, I think it certainly allows him to go into his home state of Ohio and make a legitimate claim to the state. He did very well in kind of the southern part of the state, some of the southern counties, where Cruz did extremely well in the west side of the state, but Trump did strong throughout the state, and that's an interesting story. I think the real story out of the Republican side is the collapse of Marco Rubio.
And where do we see surprise support for Hillary Clinton? I mean, certainly she was expecting to carry Detroit, but she couldn't carry some of the outer lying areas. Is that true throughout the southeastern part of Michigan?
Well, she won Oakland County. She's running dead even. They're running dead even in Macomb County. She needed huge margins out of Wayne County, and those margins aren't delivering right now.
Now, this takes us to an important issue. Michigan is the last of the apportioned delegate states before we get to winner take all. So, in fact, even if Hillary Clinton somehow were to come back and win by a slim margin tonight, Bernie Sanders still has done what he needed to do. He's going to get a huge pile of delegates tonight. But what happens now going forward as it changes to winner take all?
Well, this is when it gets interesting. Particularly now on the Democratic side, you go into Ohio. I mean, we've talked about Ohio and Florida. We forget that next week is also Illinois, North Carolina, and Missouri. Those are big states with a lot of delegates, and next week is really going to tell the tale of where this race is going on both sides.
Now, have you heard anything that Donald Trump had to say tonight? It almost sounds like he's ready to go into November. He doesn't really need to go through all the other primaries that are left. Is it a slam dunk for him in November?
No, it's not a slam dunk for anybody in November. I think it's still a little too early to tell how this is going to all shake out. We don't even know who the nominees are. This is going to be a fascinating race, and everything we expect will be unexpected.
But it is getting harder and harder for the Republican establishment that we've heard has been really doing a lot of hand-wringing for them to find a way to not have Donald Trump be their nominee.
Well, the only hope at this stage, given these numbers that we're seeing, is for a contested convention. If the establishment wants to stop Donald Trump. You know, Marco Rubio has to decide whether he even wants to move forward in his home state of Florida next week. That's a big decision for him.
It certainly is. What do you
let me just quickly, again, 93, because we need to wrap up, get to Ben, but 93% or so of the vote in now. Bernie Sanders still with a lead, which is an astonishing, historic turnabout tonight, isn't it?
This is a remarkable story.
I was going to say that we haven't seen anything like this, certainly in my lifetime, probably.
Well, you know, for Bernie Sanders to be coming into Michigan, frankly, polling not very well in any of the national polls in Michigan, to pull this out against Hillary Clinton in a state, well, frankly, she should have won.
Astonishing.
She's got some work to do.
Richard, thanks as always. You've been with us all night. Been a long night, long day for you. Yeah, fascinating night. Let's go over to